Good morning, Miss Bullock. How are you today?
I'm fine. Nice seeing you again, too.
It is good to see you. I'm really pleased that you were able to make our appointment today. So I just want to kind of um, start like back at the beginning, and I really want you to talk about what is bringing you in and what sort of issues you're having,
The dysfunction in my family.
and how is that affecting you.
It makes me sad and depressed at times. We can't have family get togethers. We can't have holidays, birthdays. It's a mess. And see, I'm single, so, my family means everything to me because I don't have kids, so I'll let it be around my nieces and my sisters all at the same time, if at all possible.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. It's good for people to have that family connection, and a lot of people want to be able to connect with their extended family. And it's difficult when you can't see everybody all at once. So what's like some specific issues that you see happening that really have a negative effect on you?
See, like every time we get together, an argument or disagreement always break out. And I know family have disagreements, but when my family disagree, they start talking to each other for months at a time, which to me is not normal. I mean, we should learn to agree to disagree, but that never happens.
Yeah, that is
I give you an
difficult.
example, like my aunt just passed, and we had a funeral, and my brother was playing around and joking. He shouldn't have been, and he was teasing my nieces, and they got into an argument at the funeral. It was horrific.
Yeah.
So, and we was over somebody else's house that wasn't even in our family when it happened. So it was embarrassing and not cool at all.
Yeah. That sounds like it would be really difficult.
Hmm.
Um, so like what I hear you saying is that some of the specific issues that you're dealing with is that sometimes you feel really sad and depressed because your family has a difficult time getting along.
Hmm.
So how do you specifically deal with that sadness and depression?
Sometimes it depends on how bad the depression is. Some days I probably would just, I might isolate myself. Other times I might eat. Or sometimes I might work out, go out and shop, spend money I don't have.
Yeah.
So, maybe hang around somebody that's feeling better than, sometimes it depends on how bad it is. Sometimes I can handle it okay, and sometimes I don't handle it okay.
Yeah. That makes sense. So what you would like to see change in through our time together would be kind of maybe working on alleviating maybe some of that sadness and depression, and also working on maybe your communication with your family. Would that be something that you would like to see?
Yes.
Okay. And now I kind of want to ask you about the people that you rely on to support you,
Hmm.
and who would those people be?
My boyfriend, his mother,
Mm-hmm.
my friends. Just one, my friend Julie, which is also my pastor's wife. So basically, that's it. And probably other family members. Like sometimes sometimes I might talk to one of my sisters, depending on if they're not part of the conflict. we discuss stuff like that.
Yeah, that's good. So it sounds like you have people around you that can build you up and support you.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna ask you. It's an interesting question. It kind of takes a little bit of imagination, and we call it the miracle question. Okay, so the question is if you went to sleep one night and you had all these family issues and you're feeling really sad and depressed, and then you wake up the next morning and all of the things that make you feel that way were gone. And all of those problems were gone. So what would be the first thing that you would notice that would be different?
I would notice that when we get into, like, if I called one of my sisters, I would notice that she's not talking or bad mouthing another family member. Or if we had a family get together, we actually had a family get together without no arguments or fights. Look at there.
Yeah.
And actually, if we had a family get together, people actually came. Everybody actually were there, and people were actually happy and had a good time.
Yeah.
All 10 of us, I should say, not just 5 or not just 2 or 3.
Mm-hmm. So, and how would that miracle look for you?
How would it look? It would look great. Is that what
And how would it
affect me?
how would it change things for you, like personally? How would it affect you?
It might make me happier. I think it would make me happier. It would. I mean, because I guess my main depression is when I'm going through something, I really can't talk to, like most people, like if you're depressed and you're going through a situation in your normal life, you and your sisters can go out and get a movie or something. But I can't do that with them. Because I said, let's go out and get the movie. I'm inviting, she going, I ain't going. Yeah. So it would make me have more tools to work with when I'm going through life situations. Because I'm not saying that life is perfect, but if I had somebody that could, something to fall back on.
Yeah.
Whereas I don't now because, we just can't get together and just hang out.
Yeah, that makes sense. So what I hear you saying is that the miracle would be your family would be getting along.
Mm-hmm.
And how that would affect you is you would have a stronger support system.
Right, exactly.
A larger kind of safety net.
Because although I have my friends to depend on, what you really want to depend on in your life is your family because that's your roots. Sometimes I feel bad. I have to always call my friend because she might be with her family doing something, and she might have problems of her own. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I feel like I'm intruding. So, and that's why sometimes I won't call or something. I like to give her time to be with her family because that's her family. So.
Yeah. So I mean, sometimes that it is difficult to try to rely on people that aren't.
And I know she wouldn't mind, but it'd be me. Because I'd be like, well, I don't want to be a bother. I want to be a burden. She's doing this, she doing that. Give her a break.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. And naturally people want to rely on their family. Mm-hmm. They want to be able to have them as a support system.
Right.
So, right now, like if you want to rate yourself like on a scale like 1 to 5, how much do you think you rely on your family? Like, let's say 1 is
my
the
family.
Lowest. Yeah.
I would say maybe a 2 or 3.
2 or 3, and that would be like individually depending on where the issues lie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think a 2 or 3 is something that we could work with. I don't think that is. I don't think that's terrible. I mean, what that means to me is that you have enough.
It's real close to a 1.
What that means to me is that you have enough of a relationship with each individual that you can build that, and whether or not they're getting along, it's still a relationship. So has there ever been a time where your family was getting along?
All of us at the same time? No.
Never?
Not all 10 of us. Mm-mm. It was always somebody had an issue. Always. Whew. That'd be a miracle if everybody got along at the same time. A miracle. I mean, a real miracle.
Yeah.
No, never at the same time.
Never.
Either we're mad at my mother, or we're mad at somebody, or somebody just mad at everybody and just isolating themselves. So it's always something. Always something.
Okay. Was there ever a time where your family not getting along didn't affect you in such a negative way?
That it didn't affect me?
Yeah, where you were...
Yeah.
You were better.
I mean, I would say right now, this is the best. I mean, sometimes it affect me, but it don't affect me as much as it used to. Because I'm like, whatever. Because I'm doing my thing. Because there was a time when I didn't have anybody. So I guess now that I got my boyfriend and his family, so if I really have if I'm not talking to my friend Judy, I'm talking to his mother, or I'm talking to him.
Mm-hmm.
So it really don't affect me as much as it used to, because I do have that support. Mm-hmm. But when I was younger and I didn't have a boyfriend, I didn't have nobody, I had to deal with all them issues by myself. Okay. And it was horrible.
Okay. So you feel like you've actually come a long way from where it used to be a lot worse.
Because I used to couldn't even talk about it. I used to didn't want to talk about it. So at least I can talk about it now.
So let's do our little rating thing again. So from back then to now, how far? Like,
I would say I'm a 4.
And how far do you think you were back then? Just personally dealing with
a
it?
1.
Okay. That's a huge leap. And I think that's really impressive that you were able to kind of create your own support system in a way that you couldn't find it from your family. So I think that's very admirable. So, Ms. Bullock, I'd like to continue this conversation in our next session and maybe talk a little bit more about that miracle happening and how we can kind of facilitate that with your family a little bit more. And I'm really thankful that you were here today.
Thank you for having me. And I look forward to our next session.
Okay.